Good morning, Hillman Cancer Center. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Danielle Petrino, the project manager for the Wellness and Integrative Oncology program. And this is Angela Zaccanini, our registered dietitian who focuses on lifestyle nutrition. And we are glad to be back with you today. I'm just setting up our chat. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send something so we can see it. And kick us off. What we doing today?
So we are making almond flour cookie bars. This is a dessert recipe, a healthy dessert. What I don't like about this recipe that I sent to our email distribution list, it's from a dietitian blog. It's called The Dessert Dietitian. If you're not a part of our mailing list, we'll give you that info later on. But there was no nutritional facts.
Oh.
And very little detail. I feel like with blogs, you have to read a book until you actually get to the recipe. This wasn't like that, which I guess is good and bad. But the recipe, minimal ingredients, this is all it is, as you see here. Almond flour is going to be our main ingredient, naturally gluten-free. So all the ingredients you're using here are all suitable for gluten-free celiac disease. So we're using almond flour, brown sugar, baking soda, salt, applesauce, 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of canola oil, and then we are using some chocolate chips. So this isn't vegan, but it is an alternative for a healthier dessert.
Okay, so the almond flour makes that healthy?
Yes, and it's,
ish.
Yeah. And we're using applesauce instead of butter.
Okay.
And no sugar.
Right. Brown sugar?
Brown sugar, no white sugar.
Okay.
And if you want to omit the chocolate chips,
Not really that many though.
No.
Yeah.
No, and you're just going to fold them in. And so again, this is where I had some issues with the recipe. The recipe said to pour into a greased 6x6 baking dish. So we got a 6. I just want to show them because I'm like, is it me? I don't know, but so what does this recipe make? One big cookie?
Oh, that's a 6. Did you actually take a measure?
I don't have do you have a measuring thing?
No.
Because 6x6 compared to 8x8?
Well, I just wonder because it's not deep. Because this is deep. So look at this. So we're going with this.
Yeah,
right?
we're going to go with this. And obviously, I mean, when we mix all of these up, it's going to be a lot of volume. So I'm
I couldn't imagine. That's going to be like, to the top.
I couldn't imagine that fitting in that little thing. So another questionable thing about the recipe.
Right.
So I tried to look up similar recipes to this one to just see some comparisons. And there was one that was similar, and it made 16 of the almond bars, almond cookie bars, and they were about 258 calories per serving. I'm assuming this one's going to be a little less because I think that one used like coconut oil. There was maybe butter in it. So we'll see. And you know how I am about baking. So again, we'll see.
Right. Right. So no nutritional facts, right? And we don't know how much this serves, right?
Right.
Okay. We're like just flying by the seat of our pants
we
today.
We're winging it.
All right, let's do it.
And that was my 3rd sip of coffee, so bear with us. Okay.
On this foggy morning.
Yep.
Woo.
Okay, so you're first going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, so we're almost there. First step is to add the dry ingredients. So our almond flour, the brown sugar, which is a quarter cup plus 2 tablespoons. So that's what we have here. And then our teaspoon or half a teaspoon of salt, and then a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, did I get that wrong? Baking soda, baking powder, salt.
Oh, yeah.
That really messes up.
Like, yeah, you can't be messing with that.
No, because that affects the rise.
You did baking soda, you're good.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So if you want to mix all that together.
Yeah, I really did. I'm like not even sassing you, Ange.
No, it's something she will enjoy doing. Not cutting onions, though.
Oh, no, but I'll do it for you.
I was rewatching our video last week, and I'm like, we were both like blinking.
What did we make? Oh, the arugula, right?
No, it was the chili.
Oh, the chili.
Oh, it was that recipe that we made that we used yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was tough. That was very tough. Okay.
So just blend it a little bit. And then we're going to add all of our wet ingredients. Okay. So we have our unsweetened applesauce, which is 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of canola oil, vegetable oil, just some sort of light oil. You can also use coconut oil.
Is canola oil considered light?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So why not like
And
an
it's good
extra
for baking.
virgin olive oil?
So the smoke point is different. So when
Okay.
you're baking at a high temperature, it can alter it. And plus, it's higher in fat and a different sort of fat.
Okay.
So it can just change the texture. And olive oil has a very strong flavor.
Okay.
So it can actually affect the taste.
I do this like shrimp recipe, and literally it tastes so different when I use extra virgin olive oil just compared to like olive oil. It tastes so much better with olive oil. It's almost like bitter with the extra virgin, you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week, how extra virgin olive oil is like the full pressed oil.
Yeah.
So I do think the flavor is stronger, and it has that more almost like a greenish color.
Yeah.
To it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother is very much into making salad dressings, and so he's always like, I never use extra virgin olive oil. You just have to use regular olive oil because otherwise you'd get a bitter taste.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did not know. All right. So you can kind of see here, it takes a little bit of...
It's like sand.
Yeah, a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't taste like sand,
I know.
but, you know. And I'm excited that we're kicking off like our holiday sprint here.
Yes, yeah.
So lots of desserts and side dishes coming your way.
Yeah.
Do we have any breakfast recipes? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Our theme for these next 2 months were side dishes and desserts.
Yeah.
I feel like desserts is definitely a common request
Yeah.
for a lot of our patients and viewers. So
I also feel like people have time to actually cook or bake this season because it's the baking season.
Yep.
So I did an excellent job, if I say so myself.
Yeah, I think so. It looks great.
But yeah, so we're excited to kind of bring this to you. We know desserts are very popular with our
we're gonna
audience.
Fold this in.
Okay. Fold. She's so fancy.
That's what the recipe says. I'm really not that fancy.
No, whatever. Me either. I'm like, I don't know if I'm folding. I'm just gonna mix it all up so it's somewhat even.
It looks good. It looks like it's going to be moist. I think using applesauce too is actually a good option because it does actually give it a very nice consistency.
Yeah. Okay, I think I folded it. Do you need to do more?
No, and then we'll top.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, let me make sure I folded.
Fold
Okay.
it in.
Fold it in.
That looks good. You did a good job. Okay.
Okay.
This is when you need 2 people.
Yeah. Woo! All right. Also, like my grip is not gonna.
And that's
there we go.
It is kind of a heavy bowl.
It's a very heavy bowl, yeah.
Being glass.
Okay.
So you're gonna just want to press this down, and you can actually get in there with your hands if you need
That's
to.
what- I would do that.
Yeah.
I would just wash them. Okay. Go ahead. You do it.
I'm gonna wash my hands first, just
Okay.
because.
Oh, geez. I just washed them, so.
Okay. I was drinking my coffee, living my life.
I mean, now, after COVID, like, just wash your hands.
Yeah.
In general.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
so the next 2 months, obviously doing weekly recipes again, but we want to do relatively healthy desserts to kind of break it up. Obviously during Christmas and Thanksgiving, sweets are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't walk in the nurse's station or anywhere. Like, people are bringing in desserts, your family's bringing over cookies and cakes and all of those things. So we wanted to try to get...
Oh, do you just want to show them real quick what it looks like?
Sorry.
That's okay. Tilt it up an inch and slide it back. Yep, there you guys go. So you can see just what that looks like real quick. And then we're going to throw it in the oven.
Looks
How long
good.
are you throwing it in the oven for?
So recipe says for 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
But you kind of just want to... Oh, God. Be able to put like a toothpick in it and it comes out clean like you would any sort of
yeah.
dessert. So I forgot to put these on. Whoops. This is why I need all the coffee before I come in.
I know.
You know?
You just did that with your bare hands.
Well, it's not hot yet.
The good thing we're in a hospital. That's all I'm saying, you know?
It's funny because I work with a caterer in the South Hills, and she pulls out stuff from the oven without anything.
Her hands just like blistered.
When you're a chef, you probably burn them so much that it's like calloused.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything anymore.
I mean, that's, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about this because I know weight gain is very common.
Right.
You know, during the holiday season, but people really want to prevent that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to prevent that. I'm not going to generalize, but, and it's common that people gain 5 to 10 pounds, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah. I mean, especially like you're talking like probably a month and a half.
I know.
You know, like,
and to me,
if you calculate in Thanksgiving.
Right.
I think it's so much the picking. Like, it's so
That's a
easy
good
to,
point.
like, grab a cookie, grab this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's where because it's just laying around and it's there. And I don't know, I think that it's so important to enjoy your holiday, especially, like, what,
Absolutely.
you know, with
Please do.
our audience, with chronic disease, you know, you've been through so much, you're still going through so much, and you want to find joy in those moments.
Absolutely.
And then you add a pandemic of 2.5 years on top of that. Like, you have to find joy in whatever way you can through the holidays with family and friends. And we obviously know family and friends equals food.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But, like, it also gives you an opportunity to kind of, like, educate your family and friends, like, bring something healthy, and then we're like, this is so good. Be like, actually, it's healthy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's a nice opportunity in that way. But, like,
I like your point in saying that picking is probably the problem.
Yeah.
I think it becomes mindless.
Yeah.
You know, it's
you
just
get so used to, like, just grabbing a
in
cookie
front
and
of
eating.
you.
Yeah.
It's like out of sight, out of mind. When you
Right.
don't have cookies around, maybe it doesn't bother you or you don't
Right.
crave sweets. But if they're in front of you and it looks good,
Right.
I mean, it's very hard to avoid.
I mean, an Oakmont cookie tray, there will be several from around here over the next few weeks. Like, those, like, I mean, I see a thumbprint. I'm like, oh my gosh, I
know.
love thumbprints.
I
So,
know.
like, I mean, but, like, you should, like, be able to be like, I don't get to enjoy thumbprints, like, all the time.
year
Like,
round,
yeah.
yeah.
So, because, like, nobody, like, brings in Oakmont cookie trays except during this time of
Right.
year. So,
Right.
it's just, you know, something to think about. And I think, too, if you can just also, like, pair it with moving, you know.
I was just going to say, I think my biggest tip is to maintain movement as much as possible throughout the holiday season. If you already have an exercise routine, stick with that.
Right.
If not, just try to incorporate it in a little bit more often. The problem is, though, the weather gets bad.
Yeah.
And that's where I hear a lot, like, oh, I usually walk, but I can't. I'm like, I'm one of those people that's like, go to your mall and be a mall walker.
I know, right? Like old school. Like, do
I'm
malls
serious.
exist? Yeah, right.
I'm
No.
serious. Like, go somewhere. If you do want to get a gym membership for the next 2 months to get on the treadmill.
Oh my gosh, like Planet Fitness is so cheap to join, and it's like, it's your health, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
yeah.
it's something that you need to take care of. YouTube has a ton of videos to
At-home
even
workouts.
access.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, like, it's just, for me, I'm not an at-home worker outer. I have to go somewhere to do it. But, like, if I am going to do something at home, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. Some days, like, it's not going to be a 60-minute workout.
No.
And that is completely fine. What you want it to be is just to get your body moving, keeping yourself in a routine.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, like, say this, some days it's just about putting on your shoes.
Right.
It may not be your greatest. It may not be your longest. It may not be your best. But it's just about
You're taking that
getting
step.
that routine,
Yep.
and you feel better too. Like, I mean, Thanksgiving
Totally.
is like my jam.
I love Thanksgiving.
I love Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving to buy presents. One, and it's my favorite meal, like ever. Like, you know, if you're like, if you are on an island and you could eat one thing, it would be Thanksgiving. Like, I'd be like, I want Thanksgiving dinner all the time. But, like, I normally try to, like, go for either work out in the morning or even go for a walk, like, afterwards, or just, like, you know what, if I don't feel like it that day, next morning is my time.
Don't be so hard
you know,
on yourself.
Like,
enjoy your time with your family, because we weren't able to be with our family for
I
a couple
know.
years. So, you know, you want to be able to enjoy your time. But I agree, movement is super important. And at the end of the day, it is all about calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're taking in more calories during the holiday season, which is common, you do have to excrete it with a little bit more movement. And I mean, that takes a lot, though. A lot of us are fatigued. You know, depending on what you're dealing with, fatigue is a big thing. If you're dealing with some GI issues or something, you know, it's very hard to get up and move.
Yes, when you're not feeling well.
Yeah, it's funny because I talked to a patient who was really struggling, and he said, I literally got up and forced myself to exercise because I knew it would benefit me. He goes, it was hard to do, but he goes, you don't understand what it did to my appetite, to my
sleep,
energy, to my sleep. I mean, it's very hard. It's easier to sit on the couch.
Oh, and binge, like The Crown's coming out on Saturday, like I'm in all day.
I always say to people too, if you have that like devil and angel on your shoulder, like someone telling you not to do it, then someone telling you do, because some people use energy as not as an excuse, like maybe they really do have low energy, but I'm saying like if you have somebody telling you probably should get up and do it, you still have a little bit of energy in there to do it. Do you know what I mean? So you should probably take advantage of that little voice and just do and like you said, something small, even stretching.
Stretching can do such wonderful. I mean, I'll be honest, there's sometimes like if I forget to stretch or if I like really fast, I pay for it. Like my body hurts that I didn't stretch, and it's like stretching is so important. Also, like if you live in a neighborhood or you have a friend that you can kind of be accountable to, like, hey, let's go, like just walk 30 minutes, like have a little bit of socialization. I mean, things like that. Nice. It's really nice. The weather is still supposed to be good. I mean, not today is weird. Today is very odd and weird with this fog.
It's super dark and
it's so dark, but you know, next week the weather's supposed to still be like in the 70s.
I saw that.
Like, you know, maybe I remember one year for Christmas, it was a few years ago, like literally I bought like I think I bought like a filet loin or something. And we grilled it on the grill. It was so warm outside.
I remember it was like in the 60s one year.
It was like crazy. So like we might have one of those years where we don't have a white Christmas holiday or just like a cold Thanksgiving. So, you know.
Tell me, are you after Halloween, like get into Christmas spirit?
No, I wait till after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Thanksgiving. I think it's...
is it still like a fallish holiday to you?
The Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like leading up to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because technically I don't think fall starts until like November 22nd.
I know, I agree. But I feel like with social media...
Yeah, like I walked into Target like on Friday before Halloween and it was like Christmas exploded. I'm just like... I mean, I get it. They're a business. They need to make money. They need to get in your face that, like, you haven't bought all your gifts yet. Feel bad about that. And, but I just, like, I love Thanksgiving. Like, I think it's just, I think now more than ever, it's so important just to be grateful and to talk about. I'm talking about that with my 4-year-old a lot because I take her to Target. She's like, Mom, I want that. Mom, I want that. And it's like, we have to be grateful for what we have.
Think about what you have at home.
Yeah, like she's like, I want a new guitar. I'm like, no, you have a little play one. Like, you know, be grateful for that. So I think it's like such an overlooked holiday. And, you know, I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I just am so over like the buying. Like it just is like, oh,
I know.
It just feels so forced.
It's kind of stressful.
It's stressful.
I mean, the older I get, the more I have to buy, or I have to, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to think about this person or this, you know, event, or, you know, and that's
I love to give. Like I love to give and like give like a really good gift for somebody that I know, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna love this.
Yeah.
But it just, you know, like I don't know.
It's hard though to think of a thoughtful gift every year and have that expectation, like, oh, I'm gonna find something just as good.
Yep.
I honestly wish I was one of those people that started buying in July.
Yeah.
There's people like that.
I know, but I think that's like love language, right? There's like the 5 love languages, and there's people that like, well, there's people that their love language is to get gifts, but so maybe if that's you, that you should find somebody to marry that's in the July looking for, you know, presents at that point in time.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people that are like, it's just what they do. They're so good at gift giving. And they're so thoughtful, and I just hate the feeling of feeling rushed. For it, you know?
Yes. And I feel that way even now.
Right.
Because truly, social media, people have their trees up, they're showing what they got, and I'm like, oh, I still have all my Halloweens. I'm like still in Halloween mode. Yeah. Today, it seems like Halloween. I don't know.
Halloween part 2.
Yeah. And I'm a big Halloween fan.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, why not like stretch out the holidays, you know?
Right. But then again, people want Christmas to start and it be 2 months long.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get that. I don't understand why Thanksgiving and Christmas are so close together.
So I just want to quickly show this.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to throw it back in. Yeah.
So take a look. And I'm going to zoom in. So can you plop, I'm sorry, with your mitt, can you plop it up?
Yes. This I do need mitts for because that's hot.
Yeah, so you can see it raised really nice. That's gonna be yummy.
It smells really good, and there's like this, where the edge is, there's like a brown, crunchy, crisp edge. And I think that's gonna be really good. I feel like it's gonna have a chewy consistency, but like a soft texture.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I think this is something good to kind of put on your radar or experiment with other recipes similar to. Trying to use almond flour if you do have issues with gluten. Just kind of testing the waters a little bit, utilizing unsweetened applesauce as an option for either your oil or your fat. So omitting the butter or omitting some additional sugar and using the applesauce is a good alternative.
This is great. So next week we are making a hot spinach apple salad. We're excited about this recipe.
Yes.
This looks really good. So you're gonna wanna tune in for that or catch the video once it uploads to our page. Just a quick reminder, if you are not on our email list, this is Angela's email at the bottom. So you can just shoot her an email and just say, hey, please add me. We send you one email a week. It just includes the link to our channel. Please subscribe. And then the recipe for that week, and then a quick survey, because we love to hear from you and just your feedback on what you're looking from these classes. So please don't hesitate to take that email address down, and then we will see you this time next week for, I'm excited for hot apple salad. Looks so good. So join us. Thanks so much. Have a happy November and enjoy the rest of your week.
See you next time.